Hey, what's up? Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Tips and Tricks. I'm your host, Max at WeVideo, and as always, we've got another great episode lined up today. Before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as well as hit the bell in the top right corner so you get notifications with every new video. We'd also like to welcome all of our Twitter viewers here today. We're streaming live on Twitter as well as Facebook and YouTube, as we always do. So this is going to be a fun episode today. This has been something that's been asked for quite a bit, and we've done our best, but bringing on basically an expert in the space. Today, we're going to be going over how to create a virtual choir. Same practice can be applied to a virtual concert of sorts. And there's definitely been a growing need for this due to everybody being quarantined at home. But creative theater and music lives on through video. With that, let me bring on our co-host, Tyler Wall.
Hey, Max. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, great. So do a little virtual choir today. Show you guys how to set that up. Answer any questions you have after we show the demo. Max had the chance to meet with our guest earlier in the week. We couldn't do it live, unfortunately, but we do have that video set up for you.
Yep. So another new thing today, we'll be having basically showing a 5-minute pre-recorded video that we did earlier in the week with our special guest speaker, Blake Richter, who's the director of choir at Nixa Junior High.
Awesome.
So he was able to point out some really helpful tips, stuff that I wasn't even aware of, and kind of really, really cohesive, succinct video on how to create a virtual choir video, and then we'll show the final results after. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. We'll get to them throughout the show.
Yeah.
With that, let's play the vid.
And so in WeVideo, you can just import from your Google Drive some of these different videos. And I didn't import everything for today's portion, but I'm just going to give you a couple of tips when creating these virtual choir videos. Some people, they like to just get the audio from the students' videos. So if you want to do that, so that way you can mix it in GarageBand or something else. If you want to do that, what you do is just put the student's video in there, hit finish, then you can save it as whatever, and then export audio only. So it's going to just export the audio of it. And then you can go ahead and mix that in a different app. Some people do like to mix it just over here on the left-hand side on WeVideo, which also works. But if you want to add different like reverb effects and everything like that, you can, do that in GarageBand or something. So here is that piano track down here. And what you got to do first is you got to find a place to line up all the videos. So I'm going to find a good place to pause and clip it really quick. So I'm going to stop it right there. And then as I'm listening to, this first student's video, I'm going to turn down this track all the way and just listen to this student's track. So she has her headphones in. She's listening to this piano track as she's, recording this.
We all laugh, we all cry, we all feel hot.
And I paused it right where I paused the last one. So I'm just hitting S to snip the clip, or you can also hit this scissors button right here. And so I'm just going to take these and line it up right away. Now, most of the time it lines up perfectly, but I'm also human, so it could be off. So let's see, we'll check.
We all cry, we all
and this student's a little loud, so we'll turn it down.
feel hunger, we all feel pain.
So that one's lined up. So now we just gotta, if you want to move her to just the corner, what I would do is double click on her clip. And then there's this little animation segment here. And I want her to be at 0.3. So that way she's small. And we'll go X0. Y is 0, and now she's up in the corner. And now you have to do that for the end as well to keep it the same, or else it's going to be moving the whole time. So we got to do it here as well.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, that totally works.
Yeah, I mean that's just how I would do it. There's probably multiple different ways of doing it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I haven't seen that done. That definitely works.
Cool. And then if you want to, add in the next person, you line it up the same way. I'm not going to spend time lining it up, but I can show you, what you would do with this student as well. You do 0.3. Now she's small as well. And then you would do Y is 0, so that way she goes all the way to the top. And you can kind of play around with this number to figure out exactly where you want it to be or where you want her to be. And that's kind of how you do all of that. Now, what I have found easiest, I had 60 or so students participate in this. And what I found easiest is to do about 9 clips at a time. So here's just an example of what my screen looked like. I did 9 students at one time. I finished that video, downloaded that, and then I did another 9 students in the video, and I exported that and did that 4 times until I had 36. So that way it looked like this. I had the first 9 up there, then the second 9, third 9, fourth 9. So there's 36 total. And then right here, it's so much easier to do this little trick. So let's pause it here or snip it there.
Oh my God.
Let's just snip it there and say I want it to start, let's zoom it in and start at 0, 0, or start there and end still zoomed in, but maybe down in the bottom corner. So then now it's going to be moving that whole time. And it's just so much easier to do it that way.
Awesome. So Blake went really quickly through that. And unfortunately, we were only able to kind of do a pre-recorded 5-minute clip, so we're limited by that. You can actually watch the full entire interview that we did with Blake. We'll paste that link. It's on YouTube already. We'll paste that link in the comments below, so you can go and check that out. Meanwhile, Tyler and I are going to kind of show a couple of the things that he did once more, so you can get a better idea, maybe slow the pace down a little bit. But one of the big things that he thought of that's definitely something you should do going forward if you're trying to really scale this up is multiple exports. So he does basically 9 initial students and splits that into his screen and then exports that and then repeats the process with different students. Right. And then once he has 4 sets of 9, he just splits his screen into quarters, puts 1 each there in each corner, and then exports that. And then he's got 36, and then you can repeat. But that limits you from, instead of having 36, 60 tracks, which will definitely slow down your computer depending on your internet speed and so forth. This makes it very simple and limits you to most 9 tracks.
Right. And it's also helping you manage all these tracks, right? You don't want to have 60 tracks and then try and be animating. He was applying some nice animation to those grids. So doing that export process really makes it a lot easier to organize yourself. So we can show you guys how you go about doing that in a little bit here. Yeah, do you want to hop into WeVideo?
Let's do it.
Cool. All right, so we've got our grid set up. Let me go ahead and... So ours is actually not a choir. These are just stock footage that we found from our library here. So we don't get that great final effect. I mean, that sounded really cool to see all the kids in one clip singing. So just how we set this up, as you see, when I double click into our transform tab, we can see and adjust all our different faces. So one of the cool ways that Blake was going about moving these around was actually using the position coordinates. You can actually just drag the clips as well if that's easier for you. But yeah, some of us are more mathematical, and this is definitely a more precise way to do it. So putting in 0 for the X, 0 for the Y is going to bring our clip up into the top right corner. And then as Blake was doing, you can just adjust, based on coordinates. And that's a little bit more of a, mechanical way of doing it.
Yeah, we've especially in our kind of last 2 guest episodes, both of them, Josh especially, will write down the coordinates of different things so you can remember it and replicate it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good strategy here as well. Is obviously the top left corner is easy to do, but after you've got maybe the middle one positioned as you like, just write the coordinates down, and then the next time you create your next set of 9, you've already got the coordinates laid out for you. All the hard work's already done.
Right. And you can see here, I kind of eyeballed this grid. It's not perfect, but it works for me. And, it's really up to you how you want to make this grid. It can have less space in between. Blake's had definitely a sliver. We created one that has, more space. So it kind of has a nice little backdrop. But
yeah, and you don't even
scale
necessarily need to have the space, I suppose.
Yeah, it could be like this. Really depends on how you want to customize your grid. But for now, we can just use this as our demo. If you guys have any other questions on how to set this up, please let us know in that comment chat. Let's go ahead and show you a little bit more in depth of how to get this grid even bigger. So this was Blake's strategy, right? And this is one that we've used for motion titles before as well. When you go up here and click finish and export your video. So we've got our 9-person grid set the way we like it. Go ahead and export it. I actually exported this earlier, so let's go ahead and get to our export page. And I can go ahead and clear this now. So I'm going to delete all these. We're going to clean up our timeline. So yeah, this is definitely going to simplify your timeline. Instead of having all these video tracks over here, if you're doing this as a teacher and you have 60 students, it's going to become very tedious to have to deal with all these tracks. So let's go to our exports. Might have to download this actually.
Brady Bunch. Just got a question from Ghost Drew. Is there a way to reverse footage? Unfortunately, it's not a feature that WeVideo has yet. That's something that our kind of developers and team creative side are aware of. And we'll keep you informed, as always, with the new updates that WeVideo comes out with.
All right, so now you see I've got that exported video. I can just drag that in to my timeline. Make this a little bigger for you. Cool. So that simplifies things, right? Now we just have one clip representing these 9 tiles. I can duplicate this. If you were a teacher and you had more students, obviously you would create a different tile, but for our purposes, we can just use the same one. Add a track, hold shift, drag up, creates an exact duplicate. And then we can just adjust the scale of this. So let's go like 0.5 maybe.
Yes, yeah.
And we can use Blake's strategy, zero it out. that in the corner. And do the same thing here. 0.5. Zero out our Y. And then just adjust this over 700. Oh, maybe more. I went to art school, not smart school, so numbers, I'm just going to drag it. That feels better to me. All right, so now we have, you know, 2 of our grid. You could do this again and again and again until you had, you know, however many students you have in your class or your band, or your choir, however you're setting this grid up. So you can do one more just for demo purposes. Bring it down.
And another advantage of doing it this way is that once you kind of have your audio all leveled out from your initial 9, when you export it, that audio is just one group now. So not only do you not have to adjust the individual placement of each one, you only have to do one overall audio now. So that's all balanced.
Exactly. Cool. So now I've got this grid set up the way I like. We could export this again. And I believe that's what Blake did in his demo, just so he has that full grid and he can go in and create animations within that single set grid of his whole class, which is going to make it very easy. Yeah, we could do that if we need to. Hopefully you guys followed along and understood exactly what we were doing there. But yeah, I could export this again and then create animations based on that export. I could animate these individually, but it's just going to be easier to get our whole grid how we like it instead of trying to do that animation within this area. Cool. I think that was pretty much all we wanted to demo beyond Blake's demonstration. But if this is something you guys want to apply as a teacher, or you know, even in business case use where you're doing a Zoom call of a meeting of something like that, this is a great way to get a lot of faces into one big grid. So hopefully that helped you guys out. See if we got any questions coming in our chat section.
I think we're set for now. So that kind of brings us to our featured video of the week. I'm going to apologize in advance. I seem to be practicing the fire alarm.
I thought I heard some fire.
So hopefully we don't have any interruptions. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we could take a look at the featured video of the week. And it should come as no surprise that the featured video is what we just saw Blake creating earlier. All right. Can you see my screen, Tyler?
Yep, we're good.
All
so
right.
Is this the final version, or is this one
this? So this is the final version, and Blake actually goes in depth as well with another video of his. You can check out his channel. I believe we can have that in the comment section below as well. He goes in depth about how he created this, specifically using WeVideo. And this is the final result.
Cool. Let's check it out. Nice animation.
Yeah, it's got kind of a slow pan there.
The alarm is not part of the video.
Sorry again.
All good. Yeah, so he's jumping to different sections and just doing hard cuts. Another nice animation.
It sounds so good with all of them together.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a tedious process to get all these faces and line them all up and apply that grid effect, but you can see how how great of a result you get when you have all these students singing together at the same time. It's pretty incredible.
All right, so it is a 4-minute video. I don't know if I should play the whole thing, but
We get the idea. Very nice.
just kind of goes on, and he has some nice B-roll in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Junior high school. And it came out great with the slow pan. And that's another kind of cool thing you can do is after you've exported the video, you can actually, with all 60 or so individuals as one video, you can then do the slow pan like he did really easily.
Yeah, great job, Blake. And thanks for coming on the program.
Awesome. Well, if we don't have any more questions, then that'll be a wrap today. This is the last Tuesday tips and tricks of the year.
Yeah, I guess it is, huh?
We will not be doing a show either next week or the following, and that leaves the next show to be in January 2021. So with that, just want to thank all of our viewers or supporters for helping us get to where we are now. I think we're nearing that 50 show mark.
Awesome.
And it's been fun. The show's gotten better. Definitely appreciate the comments and support throughout.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe bell when you get a chance if you haven't already. And yeah, looking forward to 2021. It's been a interesting year, but video creation is definitely a good thing to do while we're all inside. So keep creating and keep sharing those videos with us. We appreciate it.
Sweet. Special shout out to our producer, Patrick, who's
Yep.
behind the scenes. With that, we'll see you all next year. Happy creating.
See you guys.